Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, especially my divine feminine. Please welcome back to this reading for the divine masculine with regards to his energies from the 1st of September to the 10th of September. I have on purpose taken the first 10 days of the month because I'm going to do this periodic check on the divine masculine, and every 10 days, we will know what is happening with him and what is going on internally, externally, in the higher space, as well as in the in a complete, a wholesome recall on this twin flame connection with regards to his energies, guys. Okay, so that is the reason I have taken the first 10 days. Now, time is fluid. You may be called upon to watch this reading as and when my spirits guide you towards it. But at the same point in time, this is what the story will be in the first 10 days of the spiritual month of September 2019, guys, the Virgo season. And to be honest with you, divine feminines, I love this. I simply love this. And I really, I was waiting to see what is going on and how things are going to be changing and how things are changing. I'm just very curious with regards to these energies in here. And every reading that I'm doing is coming up with a different story, which is absolutely the things that had to be done but was not done for a long time. So now those things are resurfacing, it's coming to the surface, and we can all see it. Now, having said this, the recent past energy, guys, is the Moon card in the reverse and the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is that energy which had been in his zone for a very long time, and it is a self created internal battle, more so. It is because somewhere he was very fearful of this connection. He wanted to accept but was not able to accept. He was comparing himself to divine feminines. He was comparing his position, his status, his resources, his obligations, and everything that he had built up within himself for the past God knows how many years. So this was an internal battle with him for a very long time. But with the Moon card in the reverse, after the eclipse, that phase of that eclipse is, has helped him, has really helped him to come to terms with his own fear of this internal struggle and the battle that he had been withholding in himself for a very long time. Because the eclipse has cleared up a lot of things within his soul, within his spirit, within his mind, even within his body. The tension, the stress, everything that was within him. And because of the eclipse of the moon, he has been able to understand that it was a self-imposed battle. That internal warfare that he had been creating within himself was very self-imposed part of the story. And through the eclipse of the moon, he has been able to understand that I shouldn't be holding on to this battle. It's a fear, it's a terror, it's a dread that I had created. It was me who had created that fear and the terror with regards to this twin flame connection, because I was, always comparing things. And because I was always comparing things with myself, with my position, with my obligation, with my resources, with my status, with my condition, I was always in comparison with the divine feminine. And because I was comparing all these things all the time, what I was gaining back in return was a basket full of stress and tension for myself, nothing else. So now in the recent past, within the last whatever amount of time has crossed by, he has come to terms with his own internal battle that was his own self-imposed barricade in this twin flame connection, which he has cleared, and he's still clearing up, guys. And he has cleared the major portion of that battle, because he has gone through the dark and the light. He has gone through his conscious and subconscious to be honest with himself. That I cannot blame this on the divine feminine. I cannot blame this on the twin flame connection. It was me. It was me. And I have to get rid of this, because if I don't, nothing will move, and not even myself. It is that kind of a thing that I've been holding in my zone for a very long time. So that is the first good news, ladies. That's the first good news, because this had been going on and I was kind of tired of looking up into the reading with this Five of Wands energy all the time coming. It's like a battle. It's like a war that he was having within himself with regards to his condition, your condition, your resources, his resources, your obligation, his obligation. He was always in that portion of his life, in comparison. So finally, that's good news, ladies. It's moved away. And it's moved away not because of anything, but because of the lingering energies from the eclipse in July that has made him go through this conscious and subconscious self through all the period of these months that he has traveled. July, August, the last 2 months, he has been washing this energy away, slowly, little by little. So in September, it's gone. It's vanished. He has come to terms with that kind of an energy is not going to help him more so, rather than doing anything beneficial in this twin flame connection, ladies. Okay. Now, with his romance angel guidance, people, it is telling you that now is the time he wants to retreat. It is time to disconnect from the world, which he is doing very, very, consciously and subconsciously within his own higher self, where he is taking off, totally disconnecting from other things to be with you, to be in this twin flame connection. Because if you see this card, there are two people, one man and a woman here. So he's retreating, he's disconnecting from everything else in this world, all the noise, all the cacophony, to realize that he needs to spend time with you. And both you people are together all the time. He is with you, you are with him. Maybe not physical proximity, not at this point in time that, you guys are, or maybe for some people, you people are actually taking a vacation, taking your time off to be together. It could be for some people. But for other people, it is a disconnect from the outside cacophony to be together, to spend time. It's a mental vibration more than a physical energy, I would say. It's more so of a mental vibration and frequencies that is being passed on between the two of you, where both you people, time and again, throughout this time period I've taken, y'all are going to retreat from everything else, to disconnect from the world, and to think about this beautiful journey, to think about this beautiful love, to think about the good time spent together, to think of the coming days that you people will be spending together, making plans mentally, taking time off from the other cacophony at this point in time, just to be with one another at a certain place at a certain point, connecting spiritually, guys. Very, very spiritually also at the same point in time, because everything in this twin flame journey at this moment is being closely bonded. It's coming together, step by step, little by little. And why he is being able to do that, guys, is because he is getting over his emotional loss. That loss that he had been suffering in his own quarters for a very long time with regards to his resources, his own energy, his loss of strength, his loss of power, you know, which was created with a third party or a karmic situation that gave him trouble. It could have also been his career, anything and everything that had created a very high level of emotional loss. And he's getting rid of that. It's that Five of Cups energy in the reverse, guys. He's walking away from that negative, from that toxic, from that narcissist attitude that he had been holding within himself, which is why he was having this internal warfare for a very long time. It was all narcissism, guys. It was a part of his own narcissist attitude, his own toxic behavior, more than what other people might have done to him. It could be that. But the reason that he had not been able to get over this warfare or this emotional loss for a very long time was because, to a large extent, he was being a narcissist. He was kind of loving to hold that energy, loving to hold that bad energy, loving to nurture that bad energy. He was in that sadist attitude, very sadist. People who are very sadist by nature would love to keep the bad vibrations within themselves. But now, with this eclipse, he is getting over that emotional barrier, that emotional loss that had been in his zone, because now he has realized that he cannot be this anymore. And the more he believes in that narcissist attitude, the more he believes in that negative attitude, the less he will get in his life. Okay, so that is the reason this Five of Wand energy, and with the Moon card in the reverse, guys, this eclipse is surrounding him to wash away, to give him the clarity, to tell him that no, you don't need that anymore. You have had enough fun doing all that. It's time to finish it, clear it, walk away. And because of that, he's been able to disconnect from everything else in order to concentrate on this twin flame connection. Because for a very long time, his mind was very closed with certain things in his life that was not allowing him to really pay importance or give importance to this connection in the way that he should have. But now, because his space is getting decluttered, he is getting decluttered to a large extent, mentally more so. This reading is a very mentally focused reading. All the challenges in his mind space is clearing up. And because of that, guys, the energy level that's coming to him in the higher self, this card has come to be in the reverse, which is the seventh chakra, Archangel Uriel. But she has come to me in the reverse, guys, at this point in time, because things are happening slowly. You cannot expect all the results right away. You have to allow certain time to come, certain things to go little by little, one by one, because there was a lot of garbage. So it takes time to clear that garbage off. And because of this card has come to be in the reverse, which talks about spiritual connections or spirit connections, intuitions, and inspiration. That is taking him a little bit time to open up, because there is a block in that seventh chakra of his, okay, at this point in time. The block is towards his own intuition and to the potential help and power from the spirit world that he will receive. Because there is a fear of opening up to the side of his life, or perhaps it's just something that seems very foreign or unrealistic, because to believe in spirit, or to believe in that spiritual guidance or his intuition, he has probably never channelized those before. So for him, it's very unfamiliar that one can actually do this. One can actually use their intuition or their spirit, or take help from their guide or the spirit or the angels, whoever is sitting in his zone. He has never done that. It's very unfamiliar to him, guys, okay? But either way, it's time to awaken to the beauty and the power of the spirit world. So therefore, Uriel is coming into his life to help him bring back that passion and power, which in turn is going to help him bring this connection into being. Okay, so once he is open to this incredible peace and power that spirit can bring into his life will never be the same again. So that is what he is walking into at this point. But now, right now, in during this 10 days, Uriel is coming to him, but that block has to open up. That block is not opened up completely, where his own intuition and his own power and that spirit world can bring back this connection into being. So once that happens, there is no turning back, guys. But he's moving towards that. He's progressing towards that because in the Akashic record, guys, he's got the Four of Keys or the clearing the way. He's clearing his mind. Look at this. He's clearing his mind because he's walking towards the golden path. In his mind, little by little, slowly, one by one step at a time, baby steps, I would call that. He's clearing the way in his mind because right now things are happening for him in such a way that he's also being able to meditate on this twin flame connection. He's being able to give time to this connection, mentally more so, in the 5D or from the 5D world. He's being able, because with this retreat and with this emotional loss now having gone, with the Five of Wands having gone, things are moving into his direction, where now he's being able to understand and meditate on this beautiful journey to clear his mind. He's being able to focus on this twin flame connection, which in the past many years maybe he has not been able to do this kind of spiritual healing, I would say, with regards to this connection. And because of this meditation, guys, he's being able to clear the way, and we have to wait for this chakra to open up, as I explained. And once that opens up, guys, once he is able to get back that right power, the spiritual power in this connection that is coming to him from the Archangel Uriel, things will not be the same again. So therefore, this is what the story is, and understand who is influencing him. It's Mercury, the mind. Look, I just told you that mind is the first thing for any human being. He was not able to clear his mind for so long. So whatever he had been doing was more out of force than out of his real own good intentions, people. But now, because Mercury has stepped in, his mind is opening up in this period in time, because Mercury is the planet of intelligence and talking, and is the closest planet to the sun, also making it the fastest planet to move through the zodiac. So Mercury is in his zone, guys, and Mercury with the mind. So, and because it's so close to the sun, that fire, that passion, that flame towards this connection is going leaps and bounds, guys. It's going leaps and bounds. And the mind can be very flexible now, people. Insanely flexible. Because Mercury can be a trickster, okay? So just when the energy seems to be floating in one direction, then all of a sudden, boom, he starts thinking about something else also with regards to this connection. So he's like, with this connection, he's all over the place. Right now, he's thinking he should take a vacation with you. He should go out. The second moment, he's thinking about something else. The third moment, he is thinking about something else. He's like all over the place at this point with Mercury coming into his mind zone, guys. But again, Mercury is the wisdom. And stupidity is found in intelligence, guys, when it is not connected to the heart or the feeling. So right now, his mind is all about this twin flame connection. Because Mercury maximizes the imagination. But remember, it can also symbolize the liar when it comes to double talk with mixed feelings. So there could be a lot of things that he is going through at this point in time. However, Mercury shows you how mentally sharp and flexible we can be, our mental range, and how eloquent we can be. Because Mercury also tends to be chatty, superficial, and into playing games. Could be psychological games or other games of puzzles. So everything that is happening in this twin flame connection right now with the divine masculine is in his mind space. He's thinking about it from every different part of the angle. Okay, he's giving his mind the push because the mind is allowing him to think. The mind is allowing him to talk. The mind is clearing the bad stuff. Because wisdom is found in stupid intelligence because it's not connected to the heart. It's connected to your mind. And mind is a very important part of this twin flame connection. And I had been waiting to see what he does with his mind while we are moving forward in the month of September, guys. Okay. Now, when Mercury card presents itself in a reading, it is time to use the mental faculties to get your point across. Words and how you use them are very significant. The way you talk, whatever the reason or occurrence could be, how you communicate through writing or speaking or through word is of utmost importance here. And it is not a time to stay static or to stay still. So choose the words. He has to choose his words very carefully too when he's thinking about the twin flame connection or talking to you. Because it can be that he says something and you people might get a different message. Because there is every chance that can happen during this portion of time if there is communication between the two of you. So don't take it to heart, divine feminine, if he says something and you kind of interpret the message in a different way, because it's not him, it's Mercury, guys, okay? So at this point in time, guys, Mercury is the magician. Mercury and mind. This card represents the magician. Okay, so therefore, magic is happening in his mind. In a good way, sometimes maybe in a little bad way, but magic is on. Okay, now good and bad is very relative, people. What seems good to you may seem bad to me. What seems bad to me may seem good to you. So there is no real distinction between good and bad. It's my understanding. It's very relative, very subjective, a part of that relative to its subjective issues. So you cannot really judge if it's a good thing to happen, if it's a bad thing to happen, because situations make people go through that portion of your life. But the main thing to watch over here is that he's clearing the bad stuff. He's definitely clearing the bad stuff because his mind, the Mercury of his mind, is allowing him to do that, which is the good news. Because look at the oracle deck in here from the fairy oracle deck. Parenting and children has come to me in the reverse, guys, and magician has come to me in the reverse. So again, Mercury and mind is a magician, and over here the magician has come to me in the reverse is because the divine masculine is taking the help of this Mercury to let himself know that whatever his inner child issues had been, now it could be that as a child he had gone through bad times with his parents, which in turn was his karma that he may have passed on to his kids. Okay, so he used to believe in that fact, guys, that it was his own doing, that his karma had affected his kids. Or it could be that sometimes, it happens that if you have a bad childhood, or if you have troubled childhood, guys, you carry that, but you kind of blame that on your parents for having given you that inner child issue. So it could be different for different people, but that portion of his life where he had this tendency to take that guilt onto himself with regards to his own karma and destiny, believing in the fact that because his karma maybe as a child was not very good, or maybe he was not brought up in the best of um, in the best of the lot, or maybe he did not get everything that he deserved in life, and because of that, he might have carried the same karma, and that in turn is affecting his children. So, anything to do with his inner child issues, guys, even his own parents, maybe they had not been able to give him everything in life, or something in his family that he may have seen as a child. Maybe it was a divorce or a broken home that he comes from. But whatever it is, he used to take that guilt on himself. But now he's letting that guilt go because his mind is letting him know that guilt is not for real. You don't have to take that guilt on yourself. It was an illusion, it was a trickery that the world had made you believe, or you had made yourself believe in that trickery and that illusion. Because the magician, the alchemist, has come to me in the reverse on this card to clarify that now he's getting the message very clear cut, simple, and straightforward to let him know that he doesn't have to carry that guilt. He doesn't have to feel bad about his childhood issues or of the fact that maybe his disturbed karma has created a disturbance in his children's life going forward was not his doing. It was just an illusion. It was just a trick of this 5D to have made him go through that kind of a guilt troubled period, So it is that kind of an energy that is letting him know. At the same point in time, people, the combined blessing is that of the devil, where he is being manipulative with his mind. He's playing his own mind games now with regards to his own self deeds, because whatever bad stuff that he had been holding on, he is manipulating his mind in such a way that he can get rid of the bad things and get in something better for himself. He's able to manipulate his mind because of Mercury, guys. And that's a combined blessing of the devil in here. Okay? Because it is, this card otherwise would have been pretty kind of, I wouldn't say, I don't say any card is good or bad again, but it's kind of scary to have got this card. But when I got this as a double blessing, and I checked with the clarifier, because I wanted to be assured of this devil in here that shows that he is very manipulative as a person in the 5D as well as in the 3D, because Mercury, the mind, is so sharp at this point in time that he can manipulate whatever he chooses to manipulate for his own reason, guys. It is that kind of an energy. That could be his emotions, it could be his psychological reactions, it could be his resources, it could be his job situation, it could be the third party karmic situation, as well as his love towards the twin flame connection. So I wanted to cross check on this devil card in here to see what it tells me, and guess what it is telling me. What he's manipulating is the star and the 8 of sword in the reverse. So what he's manipulating his own freedom. He's not manipulating new people. He's not manipulating anything else. He's healing his hope and faith. That is what he's manipulating into himself to heal completely. To completely diminish the other bad qualities in order to free himself in the right way. And that is what he's manipulating, because I wanted to check and see really why this devil card has come to me here. because like I told you, it's a combined blessing. So in the 5D, he's taking the help of the star card to rejuvenate, to clear his way, to heal, to have his hope and faith in this twin flame connection that he will be able to bring back things in the right direction. And in the 3D, guys, he's freeing himself from all the other obligations. He's manipulating the way into clearing his way, clearing the way into freeing himself. So everything that he's doing at this point in time, from the 1st to the 15th, is all about his own self, guys. And Mercury is coming in here to help him clear the way through, to make him more calm and approachable towards his own internal battles, his own internal conflict, nothing to do with you, Divine Feminine. And that is the reason Mercury is giving him that power to meditate, to know what he has to do in order to move forward, is to get this garbage out of his mind, out of his mind space. And exactly that is what is happening. It's beautiful, people. It's beautiful. Now, in the mind space, look, what's the theme? The King of Wands. And the King of Wands is all about that portion of his life, guys, in the mind, where he's now able to see the bigger picture, where he's opening up to his own mind space, to see the bigger picture, to bring in what he wants into his life. He's not closed anymore, people. He's not closed because he has realized his own folly in life. And he's clearing up his own folly at this point in time. He's becoming that leader of his mind, guys. He's taking control of his mind. He's overcoming the challenges in his mind because Mercury is really pushing him hard at this point in time to free himself from all obligations and garbages that he had been holding in his mind space. And that's the theme. And because of that, people, he's learning to bring back his strength. He is now becoming strong. It's going to take him a little time, but he is returning back to the strength that his mind needs. And along with the strength comes the Emperor in the reverse, which is letting him know that he also needs to bring back that power, that decorum, that structure, the authority that his mind is craving for at this point in time. Why? Because he has to move forward. The Fool. It's a new beginning. It's the leap of faith that he wants to move forward in order to conquer his own mind in the right way. He wants to. There is no doubt about that. He wants to take hope and faith from the star card in order to move forward, to get back his structure, to get back his authority, to get back his leadership quality, which in turn is going to bring him back his strength. And that will enable him to see the bigger picture in his life. You know why? Because he wants to give birth to himself in the mind space now. He wants to get grounded in the mind space. He wants to give birth to his mind in order for him to turn his own wheel of fortune in the right direction towards the twin flame connection as well as to himself. So this reading is more focused upon his own intentions now, which I wanted to check. What he is doing, what he is doing with his own intentions. Because at this moment, the bottom of the deck, people, is the 3 of Wands and the 2 of Wands in here. He's preparing in order to move. Look, getting rid of that 5 of Wands, getting rid of that 5 of Wands energy from his mind. He's getting prepared. He's broken up that 5 of Wands into 2 portions now. Leaving that bad energy, he has divided that into preparing and planning for his adventure in the mind space now. And that is why in the mind space is very sharp, very clear, very accurate, very calculative, very manipulative towards his own wish desire. He's not going to listen to anyone anymore. Excuse me. He's going to take action because his mind is allowing him to move in the right direction. For himself first, before he can move along with you, his twin. But right now, if he is not there, he won't be able to give you justice, divine feminine. He has to give himself justice first, then he can give you and the twin flame justice. Okay? So that is why he's moving in this direction, so that he can bring forward his own destination, his own destiny, change that into the place that he wants to. And he's manipulating his mind in such a way that he can now make plans to move forward. He's waiting. He's not moving right now. He's waiting for his ships to come into the harbor, guys. But he's getting ready to move. His mind is getting ready to move. His mind is allowing him that freedom to think above and beyond the boundaries that had been holding him back with the Five of Wands. He had not been able to conquer that. Now he's being able to conquer this. It's beautiful. He's been able to conquer this story in the mind, people. Awesome. Awesome. Absolutely beautiful. I'm curious, guys. Okay, I'm just going to take one clarifier for the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Please clarify, because he knows once he can give birth to himself, his Wheel of Fortune will move. And once the Wheel of Fortune moves, he can move. But right now, he's preparing, he's planning. He will be, because he's waiting to do everything, manipulate his mind in such a way that he can move forward. Please give me a clarifier for the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. It's all about his own manipulation. Again, the Empress in the reverse, look, for his Wheel of Fortune. The Hermit in the reverse and the Ace of Cups in the reverse. Isn't that a very clear message, guys? He's doing it all alone, in his mind. He's playing mind games with himself now. He's completely playing mind games to manipulate his mind in such a way that he can bring back his self in the right direction. He can ground himself as the Empress in the right direction, and he's doing that all alone, because now it's time for him to fill the Ace of Cups, which is empty in his mind. So he now knows the story so clear, so straightforward, that nothing can be better than that. So he's playing mind games with his own self, guys. He's not doing it with you. He's not doing it in the twin flame connection. He's not troubling anybody. He's only doing it with himself, manipulating it to such an extent that he can move forward. He can clear his zone. Now look at the theme and the heart space, guys. Justice. Justice. Beautiful card of justice that has come to him in the heart space, because his heart is crying for justice. Why? Because he wants to move. The Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. He wants to move. Okay, but at this point in time, he has to get back that strength for the heart to allow him to move. And because of the Emperor in the reverse, the Queen of Cups is in the reverse too. Okay, he has to bring back that authority. He has to bring back the decorum. He has to bring back his kingdom for his love to come back to him. But at the same point in time, in his heart, he's getting rid of insecurities, of fear, of, being a martyr all the time. He's clearing those garbages in his mind space. And because of that, the next card over here is the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. He wants to get out of that spiritual poverty. Bring the change in his heart, guys. He has seen the light of this twin flame connection and of himself at the end of the tunnel. So now he wants to make a move. He wants to get out of that, take that leap of faith in the mind, and he's getting prepared. He's manipulating his heart now too. His mind is mostly manipulated, and because of his mind, The heart space is also getting clear because the message with the Empress that he is receiving is the Ace of Wands. It's time for him to move. Time for him to get the divine inspiration that is coming to him in the heart, that is going to allow him to move, because right now he's in the stage of the King of Wands, the King of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so you have the King and the Queen in here. In the heart, he's connecting with you guys. While he's clearing his mind, in the heart, he's not being able to live without you. So in the heart, he's connecting with you, Divine Feminine, because he wants to begin this journey. The divine inspiration of beginning this twin flame connection is coming to him. That sudden change in the heart is letting him know you have seen the light at the end of the tunnel. It's allowing you to move. So move, move, and move. Move in order to bring back justice. Move in order to start this adventure, because both you people in the heart are connected with each other, but you all should be connected in the right way. And for you to be connected in the right way, the divine masculine needs to move. And at this point in time, in the heart space, guys, the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups and Ace of Swords in the reverse. So to fill his Ace of Cups, that the mind space is telling him, same thing in the Ace of Cups in the heart space, he has to get out from the chaos, the brutality of the world. He needs to move away. He needs time to disconnect, to move away, to meditate in order to flip over the King and the Queen in the right direction in order to move forward towards the justice. That's the theme. Okay, so he needs to move away. And guess what? These two cards from the deck in the heart space came flying out, just kind of, it was swinging back, so I had to take it. The Hermit and the Lovers. The Hermit is here in the mind space alone, and the Hermit has come back in the heart space to shine his own light upon this love in the heart. So his heart is glowing with this twin flame love, with this twin flame connection. And because it is kind of burning, that flame is burning, that eternal flame of love in the heart space is being connected to him. Because while the mind space is acting out on its own, it's being manipulated to change its direction, which it is doing. But the heart space is crying for you people. It's crying for this twin flame connection. Okay? And that is because as a hermit in the heart space, guys, the divine masculine is now able to understand that from his heart what he feels for this connection, people. From his heart. He loves this connection from his heart, people. He loves this connection. And that is the reason he is taking his time to clear his mind, because one step at a time will help him to move forward. And he has started the process in the month of September 2019. He's working very methodically. Please clarify the King of Cups in the reverse for me. I just want to see, I'm very curious to see what my spirit is telling me about the Queen of Cups in the reverse. Because we got the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. There you go. Oh, the Sun and the Chariot. Wow. Please clarify the King of Cups in the reverse for me. What is the King of Cups bringing? What message is he bringing? Page of Cups. So emotional immaturity is still there in the heart, guys. He wants to do everything. But right now, he's not yet going to make you the offer, because he's moving away from that Five of Cups energy in the heart. He's going to take his time. And the Queen of Cups is letting him know make that offer because we have to move the chariot and the sun together in the heart. But right now, the divine masculine is going through that phase of his emotional immaturity to the extent that he's not getting the, what would I say? He's not getting the strength to make the offer right away. The reason being, like in his mind space, his heart space is moving away from the Five of Cups. And why it is moving away? Because reciprocity is coming into his zone. And why reciprocity is coming is because the Page of Swords is bringing him the mental clarity as well in the heart. With the King of Swords, letting him know it's time to move this commitment in the right direction, the Three of Pentacles, because he has learned his lessons, he has grown wise. But Neptune is stalling this for the moment because one step at a time, the sacrifices that needs to be made will have to be made in the heart space because he will have to honor this commitment, the spiritual commitment of the Hierophant with his Queen of Cups, and there comes the King of Cups in here. Look at this again. So that is a story in the heart space, guys. Okay, so right now the heart is also holding on at this point. Lot of things are happening at this moment, guys, and you will see the result for yourself. I don't have to tell you. I'm just telling you the unknown facts so that you know what you can expect going forward in this period in time. Okay. Now, as far as the 3D energy is concerned, people, the theme is the Six of Swords. He's moving away. He's getting rid of the bad energies. He's manipulating even his own self in the 3D to move away from all the waste products, from the garbage, the dirt, the muck, everything that he had been holding in his 3D world. He's moving away. And he's not only, it could also mean that he's relocating somewhere for some people, guys. He's actually taking off and relocating for his mental peace. Some people can even go through that. For others, it might be that mentally he's clearing his space as well in the 3D so that his focus and intentions are very much alive with the twin flame connection in the 3D, because in the 3D too, the Queen of Pentacles has come up to let him know it's time for him to ground himself in the 3D as well, in order for him to bring back the Three of Pentacles. That is the commitment with you people, twin flames. Okay, he has to do that, and for him to do that, he has to clear his mental space. The Six of Swords and the Knight of Swords, guys. Very, very mental energy, rushing forward without any kind of emotions left in this story. Emotions towards other things that he had been holding. But he has to move quickly because the 3D is telling him that if he has to escape from certain situations which is not good for him, he can do that. The 3D is giving him permission to do that at this point in time. So for him, it's very important to move in the right direction and move quickly. Just like the Knight of Swords, cutting through every barriers of his emotional garbage, taking care of his own self to come and protect you, to nurture you, to build a teamwork, to build back the connection that is going to ground this twin flame journey in the right way. So the 3D is calling for this action, as well as the fact that he will also have to preserve and reserve his own resources to bring back the sun in this connection. So in the 3D, he will have to preserve, get back his strength, conserve his energy, conserve his resources, protect his money, protect his time, protect his energy, protect his emotions. That in turn will bring back the sun in this connection in the 3D, guys. Okay, so right now he is concentrating on this part of the story in the 3D, because the bottom of the deck in here is the Page of Swords and the Six of Cups. So which is letting you know, Divine Feminine, He's waiting for that information in 3D. Some information that he's waiting, guys, which will allow him to move forward. He still doesn't have that full information right now in the 3D. That's going to allow him to bring back the Six of Cups. Okay, so something that he's waiting for. Either it's a new career, it's a new job, a new business enterprise, a relocation, a new contract, a new home, anything. But he is going to manifest something that in turn is going to bring back the Six of Cups. But right now, he still doesn't have that info. Okay, so that is the reason there is a little bit of a halting period in here. Unlike, where did I get the Page of Sword here? Did I not get the Page of Sword somewhere? No, maybe it was my mistake. I thought I had the Page of Sword somewhere. But anyways, long story short, guys, he's waiting for something. He's waiting for something where he can manipulate this entire connection and bring back the Six of Cups. And manipulate it in the right way, not in the wrong way, because he doesn't want to do it the wrong way anymore. He doesn't. He cannot do it the wrong way because he knows that if he tries to do it in the wrong way, it will wash away from his hands. Okay? So he will not tell you at this point in time, people, but he is waiting for some news or some information that is going to allow him access to the Six of Cups happiness. Okay? Yeah. Basically, in the 3D, guys, the story is he's freeing himself, the Eight of Swords, in the reverse. Okay? Just like in the mind space, in the 3D too, it's a broken and fragmented part of the energy, for sure, but he is freeing himself from everything that had been imposing his movement. His mental barrier. He's freeing himself little by little, part by part. It's not together. Like in the mind space, in the higher end, it's all together. But in the 3D, it's kind of fragmented. It's broken up. That means to say that he's moving towards the Eight of Swords energy in the reverse to free himself, but he's doing it in part, in bits and pieces, guys. Okay? Please clarify the Four of Pentacles for me here. What is he conserving and preserving at this point in time in the 3D? There again. Four of Pentacles and the Two of Cups, guys. Look at this. I'm not making this up. It happened right in front of you. He's preserving his love towards his connection in the 3D, guys. And because his love is so strong, because this connection is so strong, he's conserving that within himself. He's not telling people. He's keeping that a secret because he loves you so much, Divine Feminine. He's not telling that to anyone. But at this point in time, he's preserving and conserving all kinds of other stuff in order for this love to come back to him in the right way in the 3D as well, guys. And that is going to bring out the sun in the 3D as well. I'm going to get a clarifier for this Page of Swords in the reverse. That's kind of troubling me a little bit. Please clarify the Page of Swords in the reverse for me. What is he waiting for at this point in time? Please clarify the Page of Swords in the reverse for me. Yeah. Didn't I tell you, people? Look at this. The Eight of Swords in the reverse. To free himself, to give birth to this connection with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. It's all about fertility for himself. So that's what I told you. In the 3D, he wants to free himself, the Eight of Swords in the reverse, but it's happening to him in bits and pieces, part by part. And that is the clarifier I wanted in here with the Page of Sword in the reverse. It's what it was kind of troubling me. It was kind of poking me a little bit. So I wanted to see what it is telling me. And he can walk into the Six of Cups. It's only when he can free himself completely from any self-imposed barriers or barricades in his 3D world that he might have installed or instilled, doesn't matter, or somebody else has done that to him, doesn't matter. But whatever the story is, he's waiting to free himself, guys. And that is the reason he's waiting for the right time, because he's still not got hold of that information to do it in the right way. So he's waiting for that info to come into him in the 3D, which will allow him to free himself completely, to move away from all these issues in his life. So he's working on himself, guys. He's working on himself completely. From the 1st to the 10th of September is his period, people. There, the High Priestess, people. That's the chakra that's opening up slowly. Intuition, spirit connections, spiritual connections, intuition. It's all opening up to bring back the 10 of Cups, people. And after that, death is following him in the reverse with the Tower in the reverse. Things will break open for him, will collapse for him completely, which will allow him to move into the King of Cups again and the Queen of Cups together in here. Look at this 3D. So this is what the story is at this point in time, people. But this is what I'm so in awe and completely enthralled with this energy, because I can see this man, the divine masculine, is all up and going with regards to working on himself. He knows his flaws. He knows why things have gone wrong. He knows what needs to be done in order to correct this portion of his life, so that once he corrects himself, he can correct anything in the world. There is no looking back. And that is what he's doing. He's concentrating upon himself, people. Please give me one last major arcana. Oops, before I can ask. Look at this, the Hierophant here. The Hierophant. That is a major story, the spiritual contract, guys. The spiritual connection, Six of Pentacles, reciprocity that he's bringing. Nine of Pentacles, getting back into his own self, people. Three of Pentacles in the reverse. They're all in the reverse right now, except the Six of Pentacles, because the reason the Six of Pentacles is upright is because reciprocity has to come in order for him to bring back this connection, enjoy the luxury of this connection, for both of you individually, to build this teamwork. But this will happen once this give and take happens. Once a spiritual commitment is affirmed, that's when the things will move to bring the sun out into the twin flame connection, people. And to get rid of that spiritual poverty, to bring back justice in your lives, in your life. So therefore, all these things are happening with the Hierophant coming in here to let you know it's time for this man to take up the spiritual contract, to take up the spiritual connection in the right way. Can I get one more major arcana with the Hierophant in here, please? I'm just greedy today. I don't know why. One major arcana to show what he's leading the divine masculine into. What is he telling him? One major arcana, please. What is he leading the divine masculine into? One major arcana, please. What is the push he is giving to the divine masculine with regards to this connection? Too many cards. What is the push that he is giving one major arcana to show us, please. Because the experiences, the lessons, everything in his life has taught him a lot, people. So, the Empress in the reverse is pushing him to ground himself, to finish the Ten of Swords energy, to give birth to himself, guys. Cutting through the barriers of his mental self to connect with his wisdom about this twin flame connection. And the push he's giving also is the Prince of Wands. Move. Move fearlessly. Move in that new adventure. Bring about the joy. Bring about that freedom. Bring about that beautiful beginning for yourself first, which is what he's doing. Four of Swords, meditating upon taking this connection on a different route, on a different road, guys. With this, I end my video. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies divine feminine, God bless you, people. Awesome people. Love you. Until then, take care. Goodbye. God bless. Khuda Hafiz and Namaste.